Oh baby, I am so excited to make this video. What's up guys, it's Peek. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite patch notes video. Finally, a patch that's not just one character. And it looks like a pretty big one. I haven't read through the notes yet, so this is first impressions. Shout out to Cerebi for translating the Japanese patch notes. This is from the Japanese website. The English patch notes have not been released yet. But honestly, you guys, the Japanese patch notes are always more thorough and have more details than the English ones anyway. Not sure why that is. Maybe just a localization issue. But anyway, these are probably going to be the most thorough patch notes we get anyway, since these are translated from the Japanese website. I will post a link to this for you guys to review for yourselves as well. Shout outs again to Cerebi for posting this information. Let's just get into it. Very exciting stuff. Mobile crossplay coming, new battle pass coming, new missions, new hollowware. Of course, we already knew that. The thing that I don't see here is that the ranked season is going to change, and that was my prediction as well, because the battle pass had said like first half of season 1. So I think season 1 is still going, and I don't think we're getting that season reset for ranked, which means, excuse me, we're not going to get the ranked rewards, sadly, yet. We will in 10 weeks when this battle pass is over. I think the ranked season will switch over to season 2. But for now, it seems that they're not actually going to do that yet. And I think it's probably fair, even though it kind of stinks. We would, of course, love to have free 20,000 free AOS tickets, but it just makes sense from a fairness perspective to ensure that mobile players can get their rank games in and climb up to whatever rank they're going to be at the end of this second half of the season before everything starts. So let's get into the changes. I'm very nervous, and I hope they're good. So let's look at it. Night Slash. Cooldown increased, but decreased the range of the second attack for Absol. So Absol's notoriously a weak Pokemon into the end game. It has a very strong early game, but just kind of falls off the end. So I don't really see any sweeping changes here that is going to improve Absol's late game performance, but if Absol stays ahead, it can perform throughout the whole game. It really depends on getting early leads. Night Slash decreased range of second attack. So if we look at Absol's moves here, shoutouts to Unite DB, beautiful site, honestly the best site for Pokemon stats and news. If we look at Night Slash, it's this one. So the second attack is just going to be the second attack that you do is just going to be slightly decreased in terms of range. So nobody really uses Night Slash very much. Pursuit is just really broken because it gives a cooldown reduction every time you like hit the target. So I don't know. Is Night Slash going to be relevant? Probably not, because Pursuit just provides way too much mobility compared to Night Slash. And I don't see them scaling up the damage here, which is what really would need to happen for people to justify taking Night Slash, but oh well. Sucker Punch, cooldown decreased again. That is going to be good. We obviously don't know the values exactly because the patch notes are always just like cooldown decreased, move change, stuff like that. But we do know that the duration of the hindrance is going to be increased. Of course, Sucker Punch does stun the target briefly. So the stun is going to be increased. So this could really justify taking Sucker Punch. The issue with Sucker Punch, though, is that it's a very long windup and just the animation is very long. So the reason people take Psycho Cut is because Sucker Punch just like doesn't really doesn't really do it in terms of Absol's quick, fast, powerful damage. It just doesn't really work for its kit. So maybe if they increase the animations or decrease the animation speed, we'd love to see it. But a decreased cooldown maybe can justify taking it over Psycho Cut. Psycho Cut, of course, a 7-second cooldown. Sucker Punch currently 7 seconds, but will be lowered. We don't know by how much. So of course, once we know the updated numbers, I will update you guys with all the information of what changed in this patch. It's going to be a big one, it seems, so let's keep rolling. Zero Aura changes. Where's Discharge? Okay. Reduced amount of attacks done with Slash. Why? That was like its only strong early game thing. But increased damage per hit. Okay, I mean, I guess that's fine. The thing about Slash is it was a multi-hit attack, of course. Let's just go over and look at it so you guys can visualize and you know what I'm talking about. The thing about Slash is it was a multi-hit attack, 4 hits. So it's going to be less hits now, I guess. But it increased damage per hit. So maybe the damage will end up being the same. But the nice thing was each of those 4 swipes like interrupted, or sorry, I guess only the last one interrupted the enemy. So maybe this is actually a buff. Okay. I think this is actually a buff then, because if the animation is shorter, less than 4 swipes, I guess it's going to be like 2 or 3 swipes with Slash, reduce amount of attacks done but increase damage, this is actually going to be better. Okay, so I take it back. That's actually a buff for Zeraora, which is really good for its early game gank. I think the thing about Slash is it's a very long animation. You guys have seen this move, I'm sure, many times, and it's honestly more damage to auto attack in most cases. But if Slash has a faster animation time, that means Zeraora's early game ganks at level 5 are going to be better, so that's good. So Spark, period between each moves has been increased. Increase amount of consecutive wild charge attacks while using Spark. Cool. So there is a like unique interaction with Spark and wild charge. So yeah, this is really cool. So you have like 3 of these little dashes. If you've ever tried Zeraora, you know like Spark gives you like 3 multiple like little mini dashes. You have like little tiny iframes in between each, which makes Spark really, really strong early. Most people go Volt Switch just because lower cooldown and just better for mobility, but I have gone Spark from time to time, and it's pretty fun. So interesting to see there. Wild Charge cooldown decreased. Of course, they need to decrease it to make it anywhere near as good as Discharge. Discharge is just too good right now, though. I think it's gonna be hard to justify taking Wild Charge, I think, but it is a decent move. But the fact that you take recoil during Wild Charge and stuff like that, they're really going to have to buff the damage here. And I don't see that here. Of course, they're reducing the recoil and they're reducing the cooldown, but the damage is going to be the same, so I don't think Wild Charge is going to be worth taking, even if they decrease this cooldown by like 2 or 3 seconds. Discharge is just too good for team fights, and that's what this game is all about, team fight damage, so yeah. Okay, moving on. Something I'm very excited about, Charizard. Yes. One of my like favorite Pokemon in this game, but just doesn't perform enough. So let's see what's up here. Charizard. Fire Punch makes a target get burned when hitting multiple opponents. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Very, very, very nice. So Fire Punch now does AoE burn. So automatically Flamethrower is trash. I mean, Flamethrower is not trash because it also does AoE burn, but Fire Punch is just better now because it has a much lower cooldown. The upgraded version of Fire Punch, as you can see here, once you've upgraded to Fire Punch Plus, you can actually, every time you hit with a basic attack, the cooldown reduces of Fire Punch. So yeah, Fire Punch is just now going to be the best. Unequivocally the best. Nice, because yeah, Flamethrower burns enemies, but the first enemy hit is burned for Fire Punch only currently. So now every target that's hit from Fire Punch is going to be burned. Okay, so Charizard's getting, that's a pretty substantial buff actually, because if you guys didn't know, the auto attack boost damage when targets are burned comes from like this basic ability. So the way you do the most damage as Charizard comes if enemies are burned, and the issue with Fire Punch is that it only burned the first enemy hit. So now deal increased damage to enemies that are burned. Of course, this is going to be, your auto attacks are going to be doing a lot more damage to a group of enemies. So this is just going to make Charizard a better team fighter. Hype. That is so hype. Very, very good. So cooldown decrease for Fire Blast. I think this was the better move, to be honest. It did need a little bit of tweaking, but Fire Blast is just like a better team fight move in my opinion than Flare Blitz. And if they're already decreasing the short cooldown, oh, cooldown decreased. No, it didn't start 11 seconds. I'm not sure which of these is correct. Weird. Okay, but they're decreasing the cooldown for Fire Blast. That's all we need to know, really. And we'll know the numbers later, exactly. Ooh, that's really good, because this is my preferred set, Fire Punch and Fire Blast. So, super hyped for that. Seismic Slam is getting a buff. Now increases damage dealt by basic attacks and restores your HP. Wait, they're buffing Charizard's Unite move? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're buffing Charizard's Unite move, but in return, they are increasing the cooldown. So as you guys may or may not have known, Charizard had by far the shortest cooldown for its Unite move in the game. You could have your Unite move pretty much every team fight. It has a base cooldown of 1 minute 45 seconds, which is way shorter than like Greninja at like 2 minutes 45 or 2 minutes 30, I think. So yeah, that's fair. I mean, if they're increasing the cooldown, they're just making it way more impactful. But Charizard's Unite move is honestly already really strong, so curious to see how that works. So generally so far, it's looking like It's looking like they're buffing the moves that nobody uses. So yeah, interesting. They're buffing the moves that nobody uses and not really doing anything to the overpowered moves. So, okay, that's fine. So, Venusaur. Giga Drain, increase the reduction of damage. Increase the damage reduction the user gets after use. Oh, nice. I didn't actually know Venusaur gets damage reduction after Giga Drain. Oh, yeah, 25% reduced damage. So, this is going to really be good for a tank Venusaur build. If they're increasing it from 25% reduced damage, the fact that you can hit Giga Drain and hit Petal Dance to just kind of tank a bunch of enemies at once and hold a goal, this may actually prove to turn Venusaur into like more of a defender role, which is pretty hype. Petal Dance, increased damage. That's going to be awesome. Reduce cooldown and increase movement speed for longer with Petal Dance. So just the tank build for Venusaur is getting a buff across the board. They're not doing anything to Sludge Bomb Solar Beam, but this is very exciting because I think this build had the potential to be good. It just wasn't quite there. So I'm really happy that they're tweaking it. So that's going to be really good. Definitely look forward to a video of me playing this on the channel. That's definitely coming. So Cinderace, some changes again. Cinderace is always in a patch, it seems, with something. Pyro Ball damage increased. That's going to be really good. Cooldown reduced for Pyro Ball and Flame Charge. So they're really wanting people to stop using Blaze Kick and Feint. So they're giga buffing these other moves. Pyro Ball is already at a 7-second cooldown. Is that true? Wow. Yeah, it's already at a 7-second cooldown. So reducing it even further, it may have the Water Shuriken effect where like they decreased Water Shuriken's cooldown to 5 seconds and it's just completely broken now. If you can just spam Pyro Balls in a team fight to get multiple stacks of Cinderace's passive on people, Pyro Ball may be the new meta. Blaze Kick is obviously very good for different reasons of 1v1s, but for team fight damage, Pyro Ball is definitely better. And this is really cool. It's cool to see Pyro Ball and Flame Charge getting a huge cooldown reduction, potentially. Maybe it's only going to be like 1 or 2 seconds, but I think that may be enough to justify taking these moves more often. We'll just see. So Talonflame is getting an attack increase. Very, very exciting. I think Talon was just a little bit too undertuned. So this is the first like stat increase we're seeing. So very excited to see that. Cooldown reduced for Fly. Ooh. Yikes. That is going to be painful. So enjoy never being able to catch a Talonflame ever again. Because they have not only increased movement speed in the air, but the cooldown is going to be reduced for Fly. So I think this actually makes Fly better than Brave Bird now. It's just, yeah. Because this is a really strong move already. Of course, you become invulnerable. You can use Fluffy Tail while you're flying. And wow, if you get increased movement speed, this is really going to allow you to escape enemies and just basically never be caught as Talonflame. I think with this change, actually, we're going to be seeing a lot more people playing Talonflame, and it's going to perform a lot better in terms of like its role of a sneaky backcapper and stuff. So prepare for Score Shield, attack weight Talonflames to be in your games. It's just an inevitability. So Flame Sweep, that's its Unite move, right? Yeah. So it's going to be more easy to charge up your Unite move, which is also a very big buff to Talonflame. We don't really see this buff often in patch notes, but oh, I actually see it down here for Greninja, which is very exciting. So cool. I guess they're making it easier to get your Unite move on Pokemon like Greninja and Talonflame that have a really slow charge time. So hype for that. Garchomp changes. Increased defense, increased special defense. Nice. Adjust activation delay for its passive. Okay. Garchomp may actually work now. See, the issue with Garchomp was that, like, even if it was able to stand in a team fight and do a bunch of damage to a group, it just got blown up instantly because it has, like, all-rounder stats. It's not, like, super strong. I mean, look at, like, the defenses and special defenses of, like, a Snorlax, for example, 580, 400. And if we look at Garchomp, we're looking at, like, 420, Omega Lol, and 318. So these defenses are already decently high, but if they're buffing them, then it's probably going to be on the same level as like a defender level of defenses, which is very, very good. And of course, they're fixing Rough Skin so it attacks, so it activates more frequently. I think this is really good. When struck by a melee attack, a portion of the damage received is reflected back at the attacker. So maybe some good changes to Garchomp coming. I don't know how these are going to be exactly. Can't really tell. But I am excited to try all these Pokemon that have like... I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to play a Pokemon like this build for Venusaur and like Garchomp and even this Fly Talonflame build that just really haven't been played that much because they're just not as potent as stuff like Greninja, Blastoise, Lucario, Wiggly. Yeah, so moving on. Ooh. Okay, here are the Giga Nerfs. Here are the Giga Nerfs. Wow, that's pretty much all nerfs. Okay, HP stat decrease. Yikes. Attack stat decrease. Yikes. Smoke screen, fixed bug causing smoke screen plus appearing early. Oh, I know what they're talking about. So when you upgraded like the upgraded version of smoke screen, it had like this weird visual where it would like appear ahead of the cast. It's weird. But that's just a small bug, but good to see they're changing it. Oh, finally, they're fixing the Water Shuriken bug. Okay, I'll get to that. Substitute adjusted so targets hit substitute easier. So, nice. So I guess the targeting priority is going to be on the substitute that you leave behind instead of Froakie, which is very, very hype because this is really good for lane Greninja and just like baiting enemies into attack, like a jungler, like a Zeraora, using their, what is it, slash, right? Yeah, the slash onto your substitute. This will just make them prioritize the substitute instead of you as a target. So really hyped for that. Water Shuriken. So if you guys didn't know, the move description for Water Shuriken actually says that you get increased movement speed. Oh. Well, it says it in game. It doesn't say it on Unite DB, but it's actually supposed to give you increased movement speed while you're using it, but it never did. So now it does. So big hype for that. I love Water Shuriken. Obviously, I'm happy to see that they're not nerfing Water Shuriken's damage because it's completely broken right now. So we get to enjoy it for a little bit longer, thankfully. Water Burst Shuriken, that is the Unite move, becomes more easy to charge. This is really, really good because Greninja really suffered from having the longest cooldown of its Unite move in the game. And it felt impossible to be able to have your Unite move as frequently as you wanted to have it for team fights. And this just ensures that, you know, you'll have it more often. So last but definitely not least, because this is pretty important, especially for clutch engagements, when you are half HP or less on Greninja, you get increased attack and increased movement speed, 12% of your attack. So unfortunately, that's going to be reduced. You hate to see it. Not only is it getting a flat attack damage, or sorry, attack stat decrease, but it's also, its passive is getting nerfed and not giving as much attack. So that's okay. This gives a lot more room for Pokemon to shine that aren't Greninja. They did the same thing to Cinderace a few patches ago and people stopped playing it, which is probably what you're going to see here. You're going to see more Blastoise, more other characters that just are able to do more. Greninja is really just like the hyperscale carry of the game right now, and this ensures that like you don't kind of have to have a Greninja in your games. So I think it's healthy. Of course, as a very big Greninja fan myself, it's a bit sad to see, but I don't think they'll nerf it too much. We'll see how much these stat decreases are, but I don't imagine they'll be too big. I don't know. We'll see. So, Wigglytuff, finally. Oh, wait, no. This is the wrong stat. Special attack. I was hoping for special defense. Okay, whatever. Special attack is getting a stat decrease. So Wigglytuff was already doing a lot of damage with its moves. And basically never dies with its Unite move, with its different abilities, so it's probably fair to lower its special attack to make it do less damage on its moves. Pound damage is lowered, Dazzling Gleam damage is lowered. Fixed a bug where Pokemon remained asleep even if hit by an attack. No way. No way! So Sing was supposed to work like it does in the main series games all along. Well, I mean, I know it doesn't exactly work like that, but interesting. Okay, so wow, sorry, I'm a little shocked. Sing apparently only like people wake up if you hit them, like wake up slap. Like any move is a wake up slap to a sleeping Pokemon, like wake up slap from the main series games. Wow. Okay, so this really nerfs Sing. Sing is no longer just a free win button where you walk up and CC the entire team. Well, that is fantastic. That is honestly good. Rollout is probably the best move now because this is really just not good. If Pokemon wake up instantly after you sing them, when you're hitting them, then sing is basically useless now. So, wow. Okay, that's a huge nerf to sing. Rollout new meta confirmed. So, Cute Charm activation gap reduced. That's really good. Hopefully, this means that they fixed a lot of the bugs with Cute Charm. I doubt it, but we'll see. I really hope so. Moving on. Huge, insane changes, Sing. I can't believe they basically just removed Sing from the game with this one thing. If I'm reading this correctly, of course. If this means that Pokemon who are asleep with Sing can wake up from being hit with any attack, then this is basically just makes it useless for team fights. Obviously, you can get away with it easily, you can kite away, but it's not as potent as it is now. So, crazy. Cramorant, boosted auto attack damage increased. Love to see it. Ooh. Damage lowered for Surf. Was that necessary? I don't know. Dive, time between moves has been reduced. Ooh, okay, Dive new meta, potentially. It depends on how much they lower Surf's damage, because Surf is really strong right now. But if they lower the damage by a lot, and Dive's, like, movement frames during Dive are a lot faster, then you could potentially see, like, a Assassin Cramorant meta start popping up. Which is really fun. The Dive Air Slash moves in the March beta back in March 2021 for the Canadian mobile beta was actually a really good build. So yeah, curious to see how that works. And this is the Unite move. The damage is lowered, so they're actually nerfing Cramorant a decent amount, other than like buffing its basic attack and dive. So it's a bit sad to see. I think Cramorant was in a decent spot actually. Moving on. Oh my gosh, no way. Finally. Power Up Punch. Damage to opponent Pokemon lowered. Wow. Nice. Okay. And they're buffing Close Combat to stop people from taking Bone Rush. I don't think this makes people take Bone Rush, but happy to see Power Up Punch damage decreased. I'm curious to see by how much, if they just Giga Nerf it, or if it's just like a 5 to 10% decrease. Close Combat damage increased. Close Combat increased number of hits, and fixed a bug with Close Combat Plus where damage didn't increase. No wonder nobody's running it. Yeah, Close Combat is completely useless. If you guys didn't know, it shares the same slot as Bone Rush. So, I mean, Bone Rush is just such a good move. It resets your cooldowns and stuff like that. Close Combat is just not really that good of a move. But, I mean, I guess if it's super giga buffed, then maybe we'll see people start using it, but I doubt it. Moving on, Alone in the Ninetales, Blizzard alters how damage is dealt after hitting an obstacle. Interesting. So maybe you do more damage once you push Pokemon against an obstacle? I don't know how that's going to work, but it could be good. Snow Globe fixed a bug where damage wasn't increased against frozen Pokemon. Oh, nice, finally. Okay, so, I mean, this used to work in the mobile beta, but I guess it was bugged. So, if you guys didn't know about Alola Ninetales move, this is even in the move description too. But it does increase damage to Pokemon that are frozen. So, yeah, like a pretty decent chunk. Like, compared to the 156% of your special attack, you're getting about like 75-80% extra damage, plus 500 flat. So, it's pretty big. If you hit it right when an opponent is frozen, if you hit like 3 auto attacks, 3 boosted auto attacks, and then Snow Globe, you're going to do like a ton of damage and basically one-shot everyone. So very excited to see that. Moving on, Eldegoss. Wow, everyone's getting changes. Fantastic. Cotton Guard fixed the bug with HP recovery. Maybe the HP recovery was definitely working. Not sure what this means. We'll have to see. And they improved the effect of the move Leaf Tornado. So what that means probably is that they increased the duration of the blind, because Leaf Tornado does blind, which makes it so you miss auto attacks. Basically, your accuracy is lowered in this game, and you miss auto attacks. So it's really good to counter like a Cinderace or a Greninja, or a Pokemon that's heavily reliant on auto attacks like Garchomp. So cool. Most people have been running Leaf Tornado instead of Pollen Puff now since they super nerfed it, but yeah. Gardevoir, yeah, that's sad. I was expecting to see like big Future Sight damage changes or something to Gardevoir. It's a bit tragic to see nothing here for Gardevoir. Oh well. Basic attack boosted, fixed a bug with the damage. Not sure what that means. Maybe it's just gonna actually do more damage now. Because in its current state, its boosted attack feels like it does nothing. So cool. We'll see what that means. So again, they're fixing the sleep status. Interesting. Fixed bug where Pokemon remain asleep even if hit by an attack. So this is really interesting and unfortunate, actually, for Snorlax mains, because both Block and Yawn are now Giga nerfed. Because the thing about Yawn is, like, and Sing for Wigglytuff, is that if being asleep in this game now means that you can be woken up instantly if you're hit by an attack, that really nerfs sleep as a status. But I think it's fair because a lot of the moves in this game put Pokemon to sleep for a long time versus like actual stuns that impair you entirely for a short period of time. I mean, sleep was essentially just an upgraded stun. So I'm happy to see changes here to the sleep status. It's just a bit unfortunate for Snorlax because both Block and Yawn kind of stink now, but we'll see how that goes. Gengar. Lick. Fixed bug where opponents were pulled in and a bug pertaining to timing. Not sure what that means, but we'll see. May improve Gengar's early game. We'll see. Mr. Mime. Barrier. When upgrading, boosts the amount of stored barriers to maximum. Oh, nice. So when you upgrade your move, you instantly get max barriers. So like, if you guys didn't know, with Mr. Mime, when you use barrier, you get a certain amount of like stacks of it. You start with 3 and you start with 2, and then once you upgrade it, you have 3. So let's say you use both of your casts and you level to 13, you will instantly get 3 charges in reserve. So that's really nice. Barrier isn't amazing, but yeah. Guard swap. Fixed the bug related to swapping defenses. Interesting. Crustle. Fixed the bug with contact range. Slowbro. Basic attacks. Fixed the bug which caused special defense of opponent's Pokemon to be lowered by basic attacks. Isn't that what it's supposed to do? Its basic attack literally says when this boosted attack hits, deal damage to nearby enemies and decrease their movement speed. Sorry. Wrong Pokemon, I guess. I thought it used to decrease special defense. I guess it did, and maybe it wasn't supposed to. Oops. Okay, so it no longer does that anymore. And fix the bug with range for Surf. Not sure what that means, but Surf is still the best on Slowbro. Scald is not nearly strong enough to warrant not taking Surf. Fix some bugs with Machamps. That's its Unite move, right? Barrage Blow. Yep. And Blastoise Rapid Spin. Fix the bug that caused movement speed of opponents to be lowered. Okay. I mean, you lower opponents' movement speed with your boosted auto attacks as Blastoise anyway, so not sure how that's relevant, but we'll see. Rapid Spin. Fix the bug that allows you to use Hydro Pump and water. Oh. Was that a bug? Ooh, that's a big nerf. That's actually a big nerf. Okay, so I guess my Blastoise guide needs to be remade, but essentially you can basic attack and water spout at the same time, which is why we're seeing Blastoise's damage just be so absurd right now, is because like you're getting basically 2 times the amount of damage as you would normally. So now you can only use water spout or basic attacks, not both at the same time. That's a fair change. I mean, Blastoise was way overtuned. I would have liked to see its Unite move damage decreased or something like that. It's just way too strong right now, but I guess we'll see it in a future patch. And last but not least, we got Regigigas. Creates a boost of scoring speed of allied Pokemon after KO. Nice. That's really good. Because previously, Regigigas only gave you like 50, 30, or 50 points, I think. And it was pretty useless. Like, it didn't give you a buff. It didn't give you anything. It's just whoever got the last hit on Regigigas got a lot of extra points. So yeah, nice. So you're basically going to get an increased scoring speed after you kill Regigigas on, what is that? The Floroma Stadium, or for some reason I can't think of it right now. But yeah, honestly, let's just, what is it called? I just can't remember. This is going to bother me. Pokemon Unite 3v3 Stadium. I can't think of it. I can't think of the name. I genuinely can't. Aroma Park. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Yikes. And there's also some bug fixes that are coming. Hopefully those bug fixes entail a lot of the things that we've seen with like Unite moves being problematic and glitching out and different stuff like that. I really hope that the bug fixes here, that this little point saying bug fixes is actually like a lot of bugs, because the game has a lot of issues right now with bugs. So hopefully we see that. Anyway, guys, that is the patch notes rundown for this upcoming mobile patch. Very exciting stuff. A lot of good changes. A lot of changes that are probably still missing, and I think should be corrected still, but oh well. This is still a really good start, and a lot of things are happening to bring different movesets more in line. I'm really excited to try this new Venusaur build with Giga Drain and Petal Dance being super buffed, and also excited to try Charizard again. I think now, hopefully, is the time where Charizard actually feels decent, because it just wasn't quite there even after the last round of buffs. So, wow, really long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Pokemon Unite content every single day on the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the mobile release. Omega hype. I'm just so excited. All right. Love you guys. Thanks so much for the support, and see you in the next one. Peace.